All right, everybody, welcome to the ninth week recap action for the Cult of Larry Draft League. I'm Dr. Geo, with me is,
P McGee.
and we are going to cover everything in this final week of regular season action before we move into playoffs. And boy, we have a little bit of everything. We have matches that determine who stays, who goes home. We have some meme matches and everything in between. Um, so stay with us on this wild ride as we go through all the exciting action.
Yeah, we'll give appropriate amounts of energy to the ones that are serious, and then maybe just comment on some of the more fun ones and pass on through those.
Yeah. So first up is between the Richland Ratchus, coached by Emo, and Big Balls Curator, coached by Rock. So this was a, depending on which side of the matchup you're on, medium stakes. Emo had no chance of making it in, but he could have still played spoiler because Rock was
Yes,
in a win and
needed
in
this win.
situation. I think he needed to win decently big, or it would have just helped his case.
The better the win, there was a lot of people sitting at 4-4, and he was, I think, at 4-4. So this is a very meaningful match to try to get necessary differential to win out on certain tiebreakers if they came to play.
So let's see what they brought. Here on Richland Raichu's side, we have the Mega Mile, the Araquanid, Zapdos, Mamoswine, Slurpuff, and the Hisuian Zoroark.
And then on Rock's side, we've got the Mega Diancie, the Rotom Wash, the Garbodor, the Spectrier, the Crocodile, and the Bronzong.
Right. So, unfortunately, the normal type here does not wall Spectre.
No, because it just clicks Dark Pulse and bye-bye because Zoroark has no defense.
So that is rough. Like your best bet is like a Mirror Coat or Araquanid. And I start there just because, well, I see Spec and Mega Diancie as the big threats that Rock brought. So like, anytime you see a Spec, how are you gonna answer the Spec, right?
Yep.
Mega Mile can always sucker punch, but if you have a sub
Very
up,
vulnerable to being Will-O-Wisp.
or if you just have a sub up, like, you
True,
know.
true, true.
So like this matchup could really just be sub Willow. Jet. You don't even necessarily need the Widow. You could just sub
Yeah, Shadow Ball,
Ball,
Dark Pulse.
Dark Pulse, and flavor move. Mud Slap if you want to insult to injury for the Mega Mile. Not the craziest thing in the world, but um, the Mega Diancie too just kind of comes in here and like clicks buttons, man.
Yeah, I think looking at this, it's pretty clear Mo can't play defense, and so he's entirely needing to stay on offense, or this game falls apart.
Right. Mamoswine, I think Scarf should outspeed the Spectre. Yeah, it
Yes, it
does.
would.
It does, because it can outspeed. It outspeeds all the normal threats up through Zero Aura, as long as it's
Yep.
Jolly. So, but then there's the Rotom Wash. Like that's I hate scarfing Mamo against Rotom. Feels so
Rotom has to
bad.
change the time. Yeah, because unless you're like weird spread with freeze dry and it's a fully defensive Rotom, like Mammo just doesn't really have the moves for Rotom
I
Wash at all.
I've done the freeze dry before, and it really is only
Mhm.
useful on the ×4 effective.
Yeah, you need something that it's actually gonna smack like a Pelipper.
Yeah, because Rotom could always just pain split, and it's
Exactly.
totally fine. So this is really tough. You know, if you want to sack like Slurpuff, I say this, but it's like if you sack Slurpuff to get some webs out, that'd be decent if you had a way to just like a strong grass type to just remove Rotom.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is incredibly difficult for Emo. I think
Yep.
Rock just needs to get Spec in on a free turn, like maybe against Zoroark or a weakened Zapdos, that you can just like click sub and then go to town.
Yep.
That's
And
essentially
that's
what
exactly
happens.
it.
The Spectre goes to town.
Yep. That's what Spectrier
And nothing.
does.
Yeah, wait, if your normal type is weak to dark moves, well, Spec is totally happy to play.
And if you're not Scarf Zoroark, you can't really do anything if Spectrier is not choice locked because you can switch in on the Shadow Ball, but you die to the Dark Pulse. So, yeah, there's really just not a lot to handle Spectrier here. And surprisingly, it does what it does.
And with that win, Rock moves into playoffs, which we'll be covering.
Nicely done.
We'll take a look at the playoff bracket too, so everyone can see what's going on there. All right, coming up next, we have the New York Yamask, coached by Jordan, going up against the St. Louis Charizard, coached by Zardes. Now, this match kind of mattered in that if Zardes won, and then a few other people lost by a certain margin.
Literally just Rock. Only Rock had to lose.
Was it only Rock? Yep. Then he would have moved in. We saw what happened in the Rock match, but let's take a look at what happened here. Because this match actually happened before the Rock match. Why I didn't
there was
do this
potential...
one first? Well, because production value, man. We ran out of money. We spent it all. Spent it all on the Discord server. Anywho, let's see what we got. We got the Ursaluna, Sui and Lilligant, Jirachi, Manaphy, Puikumuku, and Weavile.
And then on Ace's side, we got the Umbreon, the Dragapult, the Skarmory, the Mega Medicham, the Galarian Weezing, and the Heliolisk. So Skarmory is one of the better Ursaluna answers that are around. So that makes it really hard on Ursaluna to pop off. And then Lilligant has the same trouble breaking through a Skarmory, especially when you can't click stab moves that well because Dragapult resists them both.
Yeah, I'd imagine only banded CC, as long as it hits from Lilligant, can get through Skarmory, but then your banded and Dragapult comes in literally for free.
Yeah. Like a spicy Jirachi is about the only way you break through the defense here with your pieces that you have. Because Manaphy can't even click a water move safely because of Heliolisk.
Yeah.
So there's just
rough.
not a lot of free button clicking going on.
Weavile, Skarm just doesn't care about a Weavile. Yeah. Like, hey, you're
even
gonna
Umbreon doesn't care.
No. But with your 60 base power low kick, yeah.
All in all, a really difficult match for Jordan to do anything offensively. And then, spike stacking from something like Skarmory can get problematic really quickly because this team has no hazard control. But yeah.
And so taking a look here,
it showed.
That Dragapult just soaks up kills. Like, the Weezing goes down, but Dragapult, I think, just came in and out and would get a kill, transfer out, get a kill, transfer out, get a.
I mean, you can click Dragon moves pretty freely here. Jirachi only has a limited number of switch-ins unless it's a wish set. And even Jirachi can't switch in freely on Dragapult because one Shadow Ball or something like that, and it's
and even if it is a wish set, then you run into issues where if this were a DD ult, you just kind of let it set up for free.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point, it's gonna be critical match.
Yeah,
it's not great. It's not a great Puikumuku game because Heliolisk is almost in that perfect realm of Puiku can't do anything, but it's also gonna hit it hard enough but not too hard that innards out, it'll take Helio with it.
And if you're Heliolisk, you just Volt Switch into Umbreon so Mirror Coat doesn't do anything on the off chance people running that.
Yeah.
Or you just catch it with the Synchronize if it tries to Toxic. So yeah, you have pretty free maneuverability with the Heliolisk.
So that's good on Zardes to take the win. Unfortunately, he didn't make playoffs, but he did what he needed to do.
A good way to cap off the season.
Yeah, it's always nice to finish the season off with a win. All right, here we have Jeg, the Portland Pincers, going up against Joshua and the Oxys. This match didn't.
It was very meaningful.
Was it?
No, it did. Because Joshua's 4-4 coming into this match.
Yeah.
Jag is 5-3, and with the potential for 5-4 to matter. Because if assuming the Rock win already happens, if Jag loses and then Joshua loses, that means a 5-4 team does miss out on playoffs. So this is a very impactful match if Joshua is able to win it.
Yeah. Okay, so then that means here on Jag's side we have the Nidoqueen, Sylveon, Mega Aerodactyl, Shifu Single Strike, Scissor, and Mew.
And then on Joshua's side, we've got an Aromatisse, a Rotom Heat, a Mega Aggron, a Tornadus Therian, a Gengar, and a Slowbro. So a lot of pressure on the Aromatisse to handle Urshifu because that's the only answer, especially if it's Scarf Urshifu. Everything else gets 1 or 2 at KO'd.
I mean, you could always do Culver counter Slowbro, but Slowbro maybe
Yeah.
needed a little earlier for them.
Well, Slowbro has to be the Mega Aerodactyl answer too, so you have to you're doing double duty with that Slowbro.
Yeah, like what I was saying is it's needed a little earlier than that.
Yeah.
But there's some other counterplay too. Like Gengar gets going with a nasty plot. I guess
Shadow Ball's free. I mean,
yeah, if
Urshifu
Shadow
can't
Ball's
switch on
free,
Shadow
so
Ball.
you just can't let it get low enough that there's able to do anything. But you always have Rotom Heat come in on the Scizor too. So this is a turn one kind of matters a lot here. I would probably lead Urshier.
Yeah. I mean, there's no safe switch in. There's no safe
even.
lead off other than Scarf Gengar.
Let's see what happened. Jeg's able to take this 1-0. This was actually a pretty sick matchup.
Wait.
Or sorry, Joshua. It's the two J's.
Oh, wait,
man.
never mind this, but you're right. I take everything I said back. This match actually had very little significance. I thought Jeg won this match, so I'm super mistaken on the records here. So Jeg was actually 6-2 coming into the match. Joshua was 3-5. So this was largely not relevant, other than seeding.
So this is still pretty fun match.
Actually, super surprising. Tease wins this, considering how many things kind of wall Tease here. Nidoqueen kind of smacks it hard. Scizor doesn't care about it. Mega Aerodactyl, Sylveon, Tease has a hard time 1v1ing any of those things.
Well, he needs to 1v1 the Ursh.
And it seems like that may have been the situation, more or less. I can't recall how the endgame worked.
We've moved on.
Yes.
Alright. Next up, we have the Arizona Absols, coached by Robopup, going up against the Midwestern Moltres, coached by Pro Shuriken. Excuse me. This matchup was also meaningless. I think they were both secured for playoffs.
No.
No, Robo wasn't?
Okay. I think this is the matchup where Pro Shuriken was 5-3 and Robo was 4-4. I'm trying to double check that. Yes, this was the matchup where.
Got it.
Okay, so this mattered quite a bit, especially considering Robo's differential, because if Robo wins this with any differential, he would have a better finish than Rock.
Got it. Okay, let's see what we brought. So, Robo has the Mega Lopunny, Dragon, Togekiss, Necrozma, Swampert, and Lycanroc Dusk.
And then on Shuriken side, we've got the Zygarde, the Tapu Fini, the Claydol, the Kartana, the Landorus, and the Cinderace.
Dang, this is a nice Kartana game. Scarf
I was
Kartana.
gonna say there is the only way to stop Scarf Kartana is to guess right. That's the only answer in this matchup.
Yeah.
And Scarf Cortana pretty freely clicks things like Knockoff and Smart Strike because Swampert's not really wanting to switch in on it. So yeah.
Yeah,
really good cart matchup.
Lopunny kind of struggles here a little bit against the Fiend.
Yeah.
Landorus is able to kind of click some moves here too.
This could be, funnily enough, like a good fake out last resort type of Mega Lopunny game, all things considered.
Cart doesn't care about that set.
I mean, yes, but Cart doesn't really get to switch out, doesn't hard switch out on Mega Lopunny, so you get to press last resort pretty freely. The first time at least, maybe afterwards Cart sees it can manage that.
Yeah. Fun Zygarde game too. It's up to it's kind of a weird Kiss matchup where like if you forgot to bring your Dazzling Gleam Zygarde mate, or if you don't spec it right, like a bulky Zygarde can like set up for free on it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get also get some cool plays too, where you could always have a Ice Beam Swampert to deal with it.
Yep.
I some plays around, but I think the offensive Kartana is really tough to stop.
Agreed.
And man, I don't remember how much of a difference it made. The 0 and 1 for Cart, not a good sign.
No, it may have been misused. I feel like if I recall
broke.
correctly, that it was a breaker all game. It just wasn't the
Yeah.
one getting the KOs.
Yeah, it looks like it eventually got to a point where Lando was able to clean up kills, and
I think this was a Scarf Lando too, if I recall correctly.
yeah. So if it's Scarf Lando, you get rid of Kiss and Hydreigon, and then you just win the game right there.
Yeah.
So I can see it. So yeah, with that, Pro Shuriken moved right into playoffs. So
Yeah, well done by him. A really hard fought game by Robopop.
yeah. All right, coming up next we have the Vancouver Pavilions, coached by Soul, going up against District Darmanitan, coached by Iris. Now I think this was largely irrelevant because I think they were both secured for playoffs.
They were both secured. I'm trying to double check if Soul may have been in a spot where
Competing for the bye.
Yeah, it does. It seems, yeah. So the only real impact of this, not even the bye because it was secured by, I think, Tides coming into the week. The only impact of this was if he won and then Spirit loses, he slides into second seed, which means he auto promotes to Disciple for next season. So that's the big impact for this matchup for him.
Got it. All right, let's see what we brought. Here on Soul side, we have the Garchomp, Azelf, Tangrowth, Ribombee, Melodic, and Circuitry.
And then on Iris' side, we have the far superior Tangela, the Latias, the Zeraora, the Scrafty, the Dracovish, and the Pelipper. So Tangrowth is very busy in this matchup trying to keep Dracovish in check. But I don't think they took this too seriously.
I don't think so either, because I think I remember seeing like a growth Tangela or something weird.
Nope. I think it's Swords Danced. I think it's a Swords
Dance. That's it. Yeah, I saw some setups Tangela, and I was like, all right, I'm in. Yeah, Soul's able to take it 3-0, so Soul's able to get the win. But yeah, I think they did a foil Melodic as well this match.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say like they were just having some fun with it.
No, and when your coach you're facing is also going to playoffs, there is no reason at all to get invested, especially when neither the bye isn't at play. If there's a bye at play, then maybe it's worth putting some effort into. But if you both are going to be playing in round 1 of playoffs and seeding isn't finalized, and you can play each other again the very next week, which
what's the point?
Well, if I recall correctly, that might even be the case. Yeah. We'll come back to that statement.
We'll see. All right, next we have Hysterically coaching the Delaware Dodrio, going up against Spirit Union, Sentence or Arc. Spirit was in for playoffs guaranteed. I think Hysterically had to win and then have something out for him.
Hysterically needed some losses because he did not have the differential. He was entirely reliant on folks like Rock losing. I think Rock specifically had to lose as well for Hysterically to have a chance because his differential was negative and he couldn't get it to positive even with a 6-0 win.
Let's see what was
if I recall correctly.
Yeah. On Hysterically side, we have regular Deontay, Magmar, Chao, Mega Scissor, Raikou, and Donphan.
And then on Spirit's side, because I guess Spirit really didn't have reason to over compete in this matchup, he brings his baby mascot, Hisui and Zorua. I say it right. Zorua. I don't think I've read this name for 20 years now, or however long it's been, but this might be the first time I've ever said its name out loud, and I don't know how to say it.
Yeah,
But we've also got a Landorus Therian, a Mega Gallade, a Suian Gudra, a Namorous, and Vaporeon to round out the team. It doesn't seem like, based off the Magmar Hisuian Zora, oh my god, I'm done saying it. Baby Zoroark. It doesn't seem like this was a very serious match unless they were both determined to bring their worst Pokemon. I don't recall the
might have been,
reasons.
but I don't know. Even then, like this is still
Because I see nothing Magmar does in this matchup. I'm looking at
belly
this team and I'm
drums,
like,
dude. Belly drum.
this is true. Belly Drum, Mach Punch,
So
Flame
nah,
Charge,
just do
maybe.
Select Berry, and then go to town.
Okay, okay.
So belly drum select. Let's go. I don't know how it gets through Vaporeon still.
It has Thunder Punch access, I believe.
Does it? Oh right, Gen 1. It has all
Yeah.
the punches because that's what Gen 1 does. Let's take a look. Yeah, and Spirit's able to take it. Just yeah, Sui and Gudra and Yammer. Like what a 1-2 punch those two have been for them all season.
Yeah, and Namorous, I think we've appropriately tiered. I think we're learning a hard lesson about what our thoughts were with Hisui and Gudra.
Yeah, just point or two.
Yeah,
Thought
but
it'd be
lesson
like
learned.
normal Gudra. Better.
It's better. It's very hard to kill. It's actually a fairy counter, not just a check, but an actual fairy counter in a gross kind of way.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
All right. Last, certainly not least, we have the matchup between your Warfare, coached by Tox, going up against the Sunset Soul Rocks, coached by Ty. This was actually a
This had
meaningless match.
truly
Tides,
meaningless.
Tox was locked out of playoffs, and Tides was locked into first place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to spend
No.
too much time on this match. Tox brought the Gliscor, Toxapex, Sableye. I think it's Mega Sableye. Ditto,
I believe
Clefable, and Cloyster.
And then Tides has the Mesprit, the Keldeo, the Lickitung, the Licky, sorry, the Pangoro, the Tapu Koko, and the Decidueye.
And I'm gonna spend about as much time as the match actually took, because a little errant miss from Hydro Pump, I think, on Keldeo did not break Cloyster's sash, so Cloyster's able to set up
Yeah.
like twice, and you just take the game off.
I mean, if I'm Tides, I look at it and saying I spent my bad RNG in a good place right before playoffs. That's how I look at this, because this was such a meaningless match.
Yeah, and everyone in the post game just looked at it and was like, oh, well, yeah, the Hydro missed. Not anything you can do about that. Okay, GG, go next.
Yeah, ideal time for it to happen. Truly ideal, because now hopefully you don't miss in playoffs where it really matters the most. So, Tides, regardless of the outcome of this match, he was already secured for the playoff bye. He's the top seed, so we will see him next in semis.
Yeah. So next we're gonna pop into our featured match. I kind of forgot that this was our featured match, so we'll get to see what actually happened with Robopup and Pro Shuriken.
Oh, I forgot that it was too.
So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we're trying. Maybe not our best, but we are trying. All right. Are you ready? You got it up?
Yep, I'm all good.
Okay, so we'll start it. Go. 3, 2, 1, go. So we have the Lopunny coming in for Kartana. It's actually pretty ideal.
Fake
Fake
out.
out. That's
Good
chip.
fake out.
That's good chip.
It's a good way to scout for anything. It stays in, so that confirms right off the bat it's definitely Scarf Kartana, thinking it was gonna go for the kill.
I don't like that, actually. I don't like this Sacred Sword there. Like, what business? Like, what business does a Megalop have staying in against the Kartana? Like,
Yeah, you assume at that point it stayed in on the fake out. It's probably Scarf, and then by Sacred Sorting, you've just given away that you're definitely absolutely Scarfed.
yeah.
So,
Anywho, so we got some good pivoting, some decent damage there, forcing a roost on the Togekiss. Good chance to get some rocks up. I think rocks are already up once. I'm gonna mouse over. Yeah, defog on the Hydreigon.
Claydol stays in very aggressively on the Hydreigon. I respect that.
So Togekiss, we know here, is Essentially. Here's what happened. Okay.
Over predicted. I see.
Oh, all right, cool. Nice pyro bomb miss. Very cool.
It happens to the best of us.
The tilt is feeling pretty real here.
All right, double rocks so that Robo's not eating all of the rocks himself.
This Feeney's chunking, man.
I know it's a good mon. It's max for 95 isn't the greatest in the world, but like it can do what it needs to do.
Yeah, so Photon Geyser doesn't do all that much. Good knockoff. Bad
Actually,
knockoff. Actually, no. Why?
I was gonna say.
Why are you knocking off and doing Necrozma? Why are you knocking?
You never hit the. Oh, I take it all back.
You know what? I think Pro knows something we don't.
He's just gonna haze and deal with that the easy way. All right. I respect it.
Whew.
If you're not doing enough with Moonblast to outpace any sort of healing with that, so
good rapid spin.
Yeah, but now you need to get this thing status like ASAP. So if you're Claydol and you have a status move, you don't do Earthquake because it can out heal the Earthquake.
Yeah, this is strange.
This is getting into dangerous territory here.
You've seen the Photon Geyser, so what is the other move?
I'm gonna assume
never mind. You're doing over 50% to Claydol even with the Photon Geyser. So you're
okay.
You're
so this is if it's Cinderace that comes in.
Extreme speed. Then does Cinderace take it down? Because this should.
Okay, so this is a misplay on Robopup's part. He should always click
heal.
I think he should click heal there, assuming Zygarde's going to go for damage, but not do enough. I guess maybe you're afraid of the glare, but good on Shuriken to navigate himself out of what could have been an easy loss right there.
Right.
Because
now he just needs Hydreigon down. Oh, and it's superpower.
Ooh.
Great. Nothing's gonna take those superpowers. Wow. He's afraid of Scarf, right? Okay, I don't think he's Scarf.
Yeah. So I think he should have stayed with the Hydreigon there. After -1, the superpower I don't think was doing enough to Hydreigon anymore, and he could have gotten a Roost off. So I think he missed a chance to not sack his Swampert. Because Swampert's at 6%, which means it dies on entry. Yeah, so unfortunate.
So now you
and
have
then
superpower to probably.
Exactly.
You've got one more sack on the Zygarde. If you'll take.
I mean, Lopunny fakes out here. Yeah. And then it goes for the extreme speed.
Just enough to get an extreme speed off. So now everything's guaranteed.
Because now Hydreigon's in range
with
to
the,
die
with
to
the
superpower.
-12 too, yeah.
Yeah, the -12 I think literally just puts it in range to die to superpower, based off of the early game calcs.
Yeah,
so
that match
really tight win. Scarf Landorus is a very, very good bring. Usually it's actually I've run both physical and specialist Scarf, so good set for Pro Shuriken to bring. Really strong win for him going into playoffs. Definitely the momentum he wants to have.
Yeah. So let's take a look at our final standings for the season.
Yeah.
So we're on the wrong page. There we go. All right, so final standings. There you have it. Who cares about these top 7? Well, I do. So we have three. We have 3 teams at 6 and 3. Soul obviously takes the differential, having the highest differential in the league.
Wow. Yeah. Actually, very surprising considering Tides hasn't lost up until this week.
Yeah.
Over an 0-1 team.
I mean, Tides would have had higher had they won, but
yeah,
they didn't.
Yeah, it's true.
Portland Pincers, Jeg, and Shuriken's team were tied. Jeg takes the tiebreaker.
Was this the one on strength of schedule?
No, this was that's in Disciple. They had a head-to-head. Jag won.
Okay. So
not that it matters because you can flip-flop them and they still play each other.
I didn't notice the seating. Yeah, so there
actual
was technically a
tiebreak. But
It's actually pretty funny.
like yeah. And then you have Iris and Rock kind of rounding it out. Robopup chilling there. A lot of 4 and 5
That
teams. Robopup
that
was
1-0
close.
loss was the difference because he wins that. Even if he wins that 1-0, he gets
He
to 5
takes
and 4
he takes
plus
Rock's
10, I think,
position.
plus
Yeah,
11.
plus
Yeah.
11.
So really, really close race for that final seed, and Rock's able to come out on
Yeah.
top.
And luckily, everyone finished with at least one win on the season, so that
Yes.
feels pretty good to see. You can take a look here, everywhere from Robopup down to Emo. Let's take a look at the kill leaders, though. Picking MVP for the season is Urshifu Single Strike by 1 death.
Shocking.
Sorry,
Shocking that would
Garchomp
be.
right there, but just has another death, so sorry, you don't get to win that one.
This is probably the most boring top 5 in a long time I've seen.
Yeah, it was cool for a while, and then number 7, though, I love to see because it's new.
Yeah.
Nihilega's
like
chilling
new.
there, but it's on its way out. Like
It was from 2 games, and then it didn't do anything the rest of the season.
yeah, so it would have been on its way out. Like right below that, you can't see Mineshadow, Landorus, Mega Swampert. All of them would have overtaken it had there been a 10-week season. So
Yep.
yeah, whatever. So that's it. So let's take a look at our playoff bracket real quick.
Let's do it.
All right, so here Gradual is the first seed, so he has a bye week into semifinals. So the first matchup is between Pro Shuriken and Jeg. It is a rematch from earlier in the season. All of these feel pretty even. I think Soul's been on a bit of a tear recently, and I think there's a lot of motivation there to win. So I picked them over Iris. I think I picked Rock over Spirit Union just for I like upsets.
Well, so Rock and Iris are both coaches that subbed in, which means they kind of came in with more middling records or even losing records, and so their seeding is somewhat deceptive, which obviously makes it more of a challenge for Soul and Spirit, despite having higher seeds, that they don't have necessarily opponents that were more middling. Iris and Rock won most of their games, so these are a lot more contested than you would imagine.
But the Jag and Pro Shuriken match is super even. So that's probably.
Literally, they're same records, same differential, so about as even as you get.
So I'm really excited to see how that shakes out for them. So that's your initiate playoff bracket. We'll as we cover playoffs, we'll come back to this and we'll be able to update it. But yeah, we're gonna pop back to our recaps. Insightful. All right. Stretch it out. Okay, so we're back to it. Now we're into Disciple. Coming up first, we have the LA Nidokings, coached by Black117, coming up against the Moody Marshadow, coached by Bloop. I think this mattered in that Black was playing for the bye, guaranteed. And Bloop was already in playoffs too?
No, I think Bloop more than anything is fighting relegation. Because Bloop was 2-6 coming into the match, I believe.
Closed some windows when I was getting back to it, thinking. Yeah. No, yeah. So this is trying to fight relegation. You're right. So let's see what they brought. It's not a meaningless match, though. Here on the LA Nidoking side, we have the Aerodactyl, the Nidoqueen, the Suicune, Artana, Mew, and Hydreigon.
And then on Bloop's side, we've got the Tapu Fini, the Zygarde, the Sneasler, the Mega Audino, the Skarmory, and the Gothitelle. Gothitelle's actually super fun for a matchup against a Nidoqueen. And a Suicune even.
Get it in on Nidoqueen, and it's well, alright, Nido was fun. I hope I've set up enough hazards. Bye. This is Black really not have Mega Aerodactyl? No.
I thought it was Mega Aerodactyl. Am I
It may
wrong?
be. He may just not have Mega evolved it. Kind of spoils the match a little bit.
It's a
Um,
It's a Mega Aerodactyl.
yeah, okay. So, oh yeah, because it's paired with the Mew.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily spoil. Sometimes a Mon dies on entry, never gets to Mega Evolve. We've seen that multiple times. They hard switch in and get KO'd.
Skarmory
Really
has
good
to hold on.
Sneasler matchup.
Yeah,
Holy
Skarmory has to
moly.
hold on to block the Kartana. Definitely ways to kill it. Sneasler, though, just gets the kind
You
of
just have
quick
the
buttons.
Nidoqueen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nidoqueen's not a long-term solution. Has a few switch ins, maybe 2 to 3, depending on how much bulk it has. But when you have something like Gothitelle that can come in on Nidoqueen, you have to be like super careful with how you're using your Nidoqueen defensively.
Setup Suicune or even a setup Mew can get a bit out of control here, though.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of setup potential on both sides. You got Subcoil Zygarde, set up Feeny, Gothitelle can set up, Sneasler just kind of button clicks, and then, Mew can set up, so we can set up like you said.
Even Nasty Plot Hydreigon is pretty sick.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, if you get Feeny low enough, then like to the point where Flash Cannon can KO at +2, then yeah, it's
no,
very, very
Belch,
scary.
Belch.
Okay.
Roselia
I
Berry, Belch. Come on.
I've I know the set. I hate the set because it always is so blatantly obvious what the Hydreigon's doing
Too many
that it
people
just
switch
looks
the
bad.
Hydreigon in on Feeny instead of letting the Feeny switch in on it.
Yes.
Oh well. I've seen it used successfully with pretty
I
sick
have too.
techniques.
Um, it just you need to be playing pretty smart to make it not
Yeah.
blatant.
So let's take a look. Aerodactyl 0-0, so that means it never hit the field. And
Hmm.
Hydreigon is able to take it with the Mew, and it looks like Nido is able to get 2 KOs. I'm wondering if Nido
I mean,
just gets through the Gotholite before the Gotholite gets through it.
it may have been the case, and I don't remember the match. Goth may have switched in uh, badly on like an Earth Power or a Sludge Wave, and then not been in a position to start Calm Minding or getting its bulk up to handle that. So I don't remember the specifics, but Nidoqueen obviously was not checked super well in this matchup and it popped off.
So with that, Black does take the top seed. Well done.
With the only loss being a 1-0 loss, so a really commanding season Black here in the division.
Absolutely.
We will be seeing him in Master if he joins us for season 2.
So coming up next, we have the adorable Audinos, coached by Frandy, going up against the Phoenix Solgaleos, coached by DD1, 2, 4, 5. So let's take a look here. This match mattered for DD, I think.
Yes, and
But
I don't
DD
think
was
Frandy
four and
was out of the
four.
woods either.
Randy was 5 and
Yeah, I mean, but as we've So, I mean, I'll say this now before we look at records. The difference between fourth and ninth seed was 4 points of differential. So, like, there was a lot of tightness in the final playoff spots race.
yeah.
So,
So
Frandy
like,
did not have freedom
actually
to be
DD
goofing
was
around.
3 and 5. So, but I
Okay.
think going into the week there was some weird scenarios where a 4 and 5 could make it in too.
Hmm.
So there's still stuff to play for.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
4 and 5s make it. It's not impossible. And spoiler alert, it may have happened in our Master Division.
Master's trash.
It is trash if you let a 4 and 5 seed get in. You all should feel bad for allowing that to happen.
Uh, I'm gonna invoke the dictator clause. All right, let's take a look. Here on the Audino side, we have the Superior, Slowbro, Vigoroth, Selgor, Chandelure, and Pissimian.
So it looks like he kind of brought some fun pieces a little bit. And then we get to DD's side, and we've got a Clefable, a Melmetal, a Zatu, which is a little bit of fun, a Megalopony, a Kyurem, and a Thundurus. So 5 out of the 6 are real mons
I'm
here, and the
starting to
Zatu.
wonder a little bit. Maybe I'm misremembering, and this match didn't matter as much as I thought. But
Considering, like I said, how little differential made the difference here, Franny definitely had stuff to play for in terms of
maybe
security.
because Randy was 5 and 3.
Yes.
I mean, if we take this seriously, Slowbro stops Melmetal. It's unaware Cleft pretty much stands in front of Superior, but then Superior gets to flare Leech Seed.
True.
Nothing really stops Chandelure. Chandelure just goes to town.
No, Chandler's like the one win con here, which is maybe what Frandy wanted.
Yeah,
There, a
just
Cellcore's also
feed your
not a bad
kills.
final gambit turn one,
That's
kind
kind
of.
of what I'm looking for. Like, I mean, worst case, I mean, Melmetal kind of just switches in on Selgor always, though.
Yeah, but you take out most of its health, and it's not Wishcliff Able, then Melmetal's in a manageable
Well, you only
manageable
take out
spot.
like half of its health if it's a defensive. Like,
True,
because
true, true.
Selgor has what? I'm looking
It
it
has an
up.
80 defense.
80 HP.
That's what I meant, 80 HP.
So 364.
Elmetal's like 450 or something. It's not that much HP. I mean, it's like 110 or 120, but like, it's not like bonkers high.
135, which that um where does that max out at? I don't know.
Either way,
Yeah.
Chandelure gets to click fire moves freely. There is no resist to a fire attack here.
Oh, no, there is not. Let's take a look here, and he's
Where?
able to
Okay.
take it.
I'm trying to track. The kills don't track.
Well, you just get the final kill on the same turn that you die. So if it's like a life orb or something. 1, 2,
Did the
3.
Selgor or suicide? I'm curious if a Selgor suicided.
It may have. So that throws off Poribot suicides.
Yeah.
So it probably did. And I don't think it. I think it did it with like 40% HP.
Okay.
All right,
That's one of
I
the
need
guys. I
to.
can't figure out the
I
other
need to
one.
go back to this match because I'm confused. What's happening here? It's just somehow looking at the stats. So this is worth revisiting. But yeah, so DD's able to take it, and I think with that win, it probably brings them out of relegation range.
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, they may have already been out 3-5 anyway.
Yeah,
all
I
right.
will say that 3 wins was out of relegation one.
Now I
Out of
remembered for this
relegation.
one. This is our featured matchup of the week between DJS and 12. And despite the fact that they're both, this matchup was important. I think this is for second place, which
Yes.
we use the auto promotion slot. So we'll come back
Yes.
to this match. All right. Next up, we have the Chelsea Chestnuts, coached by Waka, going up against the Sacramento Kingdra, coached by Orn Latios. This was another important matchup for like 4-4 or 5-3 team. Or winning in, I think, for Waka.
I think it's for both.
Yeah, for both. I think Waka was the.
Waka entered this match at 4-4.
4-4, so he needed to win, but he needed to win
And
with enough differential.
differential, yeah.
That was the tough thing for this match. Let's see what they brought. Here on Waka's side, we have the Urshifu Single Strike, the Rillaboom, the Mega Diancie, the Heatran, the Glow King, and the Rotom Wash.
And then on the other side, with Orn, we have the Terrakion, the Alolan Muck, the Mega Altaria, the Tangrowth, which I will always assume is offensive, even though there is no history to really suggest so.
Yeah, it
It's
turns out
specs
that
every week. As far as
it was once. It was once.
as far as I'm concerned, it's specs every week. And the Corviknight and the Garchomp to round it out.
Yeah. So pretty nice Urshifu matchup as long as you can like get right on the Altaria.
Kind of.
So
I mean,
like you can't switch into the Altaria, but if Altaria is switching into you, that just invites in Mega Diancie. As long as
Yeah,
you're
but you
Mega
can
Diancie.
always scout Urshifu with Tangrowth and see what it's doing. Because if it's
True.
banned, then Tangrowth scouts it, does Rocky Helmet chip, goes to Altaria if it clicks Wicked Blow, or Terrakion if it clicks Wicked Blow.
But you have to be Mega
Um,
Evolved if low.
yeah, true. So Altaria has reason to need to Mega as soon as possible to help guard against Urshifu spam.
Um, Corviknight 2 is in a weird place where it wants pressure for the Urshifu, but it wants Mirror Armor for the Mega Diancie.
Yes, Corviknight can in fact wall Mega Diancie's out pretty well if it's running a Mirror Armor set. But like you said,
You have to find the right mix because you need enough physical investment. Because if you do no physical investment and Mega Diancie goes full physical, Diamond
yes.
Storm can't break through.
So it's a balance with Corv, but thankfully Tangrowth is there to let you handle
Yeah,
Urshifu and Rillaboom pretty well so that you
so
can do what
you
you need
can
to do.
yeah you can do it exactly. Having said that, though, like other than the Corv, this is a great Mega Diancie. What switches into the
Yes.
Moonblast other than Corv? AV Tangrowth, but AV Tangrowth then doesn't hold up to Shifu.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. Um, I really kind of like the Waka's chance here because he has the Rotom Wash for the Corviknight. Switching Garchomp in on Rotom is a bit tough, especially because this is also was a good matchup. I don't know if he did it or not, but it'd be a good matchup to spam Willow.
Oh, absolutely. There isn't really anything that wants to get burnt here. Actually, nothing wants to get burnt here. So Willow's super free, and I would be clicking that all day because Altaria wants to run Earthquake, so it wants to be physical or at least mixed.
Yeah. So let's see final results here. What we got? Waka is able to take this 2-0, collecting 3 KOs on the Urshifu, 2 on Heatran, and 1 on Glowking. Hell yeah. And
Glowking cleans up pretty well once Garchomp's dealt with. Like, there's not really a lot of Glowking switch-ins. And Muck, I guess. Muck too.
This is a week where you gotta find just the right Muck set. If you get burned, it doesn't work. I'm guessing even with a max attack, it's not going to break through the Glowking for the knockoff, and as long as you click Slack Off on the turn you're getting knocked, then you're never threatened again.
Exactly.
So that can be tough. Yeah. Not much else really threatens it. Like, you got some Earthquake spam from Terrakion, Altaria, even Tangrowth, but that may not be enough.
True.
So, well done. Way to take it. We'll see if this is enough to propel Waka into playoffs. Alright, next we have the Dallas High Horsepower, coached by Shark Finnegan, going up against the Helix Fossil, coached by St. Louis Shroomish. I think this was a relatively meaningless match.
This was super meaningless because I believe Helix is outside of the range for relegation and Shark's locked for relegation.
Yeah, so I don't think it mattered too much. Other
no,
than
really
maybe
nothing to play
Pride.
Yeah.
So on Shark's side, we have the Ursaluna, Celesteela, Sylveon, Whimsicott, Raikou, and Latias.
And then on Helix's side, we've got the Rotom-Mow, the Mega Gallade, the Nidoking, the Hisuian Gudra, the Incineroar, and the Torn T.
I mean, looking at the matchup here, Ursaluna
seems like they went for a regular one.
Yeah, Ursaluna can just have some fun.
Yeah. There's not a double-edged switch in, really. I mean, Hisuian Gudra is not
it's gonna
well
get worn
suited
down
there.
real fast.
And Ursaluna can speed creep in a way that Gudra doesn't necessarily want to speed creep because it can just get. Because I think Ursaluna's a 50, Gudra's a 60. Like that's manageable to speed creep, and Gudra's not really well suited to do that too. I don't think.
Just taking a look here, Incineroar wins the match, and I think. Oh yeah. There was Shark made some questionable plays at the end.
I don't remember the end game.
I think he had a position where he switched out like Ursaluna and the Latias or something. Alright, I'm gonna spend 5 seconds scrolling up through the Disciple spoiler chat. I don't remember when they played, but if I can
They played
find them.
almost a week ago. Or actually,
Oh,
exactly a week
here.
ago.
Oh, there's. This was some Giga RNG. Mega Gallade went for triple axle twice and only one hit. Ursaluna aerial aced at a position where it had no business clicking any move other than high horsepower.
Okay.
And so it did like 20% in Center War or something. I don't know. Shark was worried about missing, and then he lost the match. So whatever. Not a big deal. I just remember like
No.
Ursaluna was like toxic, ready to go. Just spam that. Like Torn was dead or something. Rotom was dead. So you're looking at like Mega Gallade and Incineroar and Gudra and stuff. So just click the Earth move. Doesn't matter.
I got you. There was a good bulldoze tech by. I'm looking at the replay again quickly. There was a good bulldoze tech by Helix to slow down the Raikou with his Asui and Gudra. So that was a kind of fun way to see that take off a bit.
Yeah, that is pretty nice. Alright, let's check out the next match. Alright, here we have the Seattle Sigilifts, coached by Dashing Sceptile, going up against the Columbus Chandelures, coached by HJJ No.
Yep.
So, I think for HJJ, this was trying to avoid relegation.
Yes, this is a meaningful match for avoiding relegation.
For Seattle,
in classic Dashing fashion, this is a very meaningful match because he is teetering on the playoff bubble, as he likes to do.
Let's see what they here on Seattle's side, we have the Keldeo, the Garchomp, Tyranitar, Enamorus, Victini, and Aegislash.
And then on HJJ's side, we've got the Mandibuzz, the Silvally, the Gengar, the Mega Medicham, the Tapu Koko, and the Crustle. You'd love to see some Crustle play.
Yeah, honestly. Those rocks up, man. Smash them shells like 2 times so you can be a normal speed.
Yeah, if you do it twice, you're basically as fast as like Keldeo. Basically. I know, I'm overestimating Crustle's speed.
Alright, I don't remember what Silvally form came, but like it's tough to switch into the Mega Medicham. It's got Fire Punch, right?
Yeah, there's straight up no Enamorous switch in, like you're just trying to guess right.
So I mean, it's a fun little back and forth here between if Enamorous in, it gets the click for free. If Medicham's in on something like Tyranitar, it also gets the click for free. But not that free, because there's Aegislash to suck the high jump kick. So.
If I'm HJJ, I'm bringing like normal Silvally with like an Assault Vest. That's the set I'm running to try to manage an Amorous, and then just U-turning a lot to get Gengar opportunities or Tapu Koko opportunities safely.
Yeah. Let's see what happens here. It's actually, wow, 1-0. 3 KOs on the Victini.
Yeah.
Hearing it.
I mean, if it's Scarf Victini, which it may have been, there's really not a lot you can do. You know, Coco gets O-Code.
Yeah, there's no
Mandibuzz.
There's no V-Create switch in Silvally, but that's not a that you get.
And then Mandibuzz is super vulnerable to Bolt Strike because Coco's set in that terrain. So Mandibuzz is actually in a pretty precarious position on Victini's on, you know, even if it has the bulk switch.
Even if it takes too much chip, it's pretty vulnerable to V-Create too.
Yep, because V-Create can do like 40% or more, I'm sure, even if it's just Scarf Victini.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Okay. So well done.
Well done.
We'll see how that shakes out. The 1-0. Last, certainly not least, we have the Tennessee Type Knowles, coached by Zeke, going up against the Waikato Chestnuts by. As for this match, this was, I think, more important for Zeke. Liger had decent enough diff, but a win would guarantee playoffs. Zeke needed to win big to have a chance because his diff was, or
Yeah,
just
it was
below
like
average.
it
I
was
don't want to say.
yeah, it was 4-4 with like -1. Like it wasn't poor, but considering the amount of people hovering at the 4-4, 5-3 range, you wanted to be in a good diff position.
Yeah, so let's see what they brought. Here on the Type Null side, we have Mega Absol, Volcarona, Florges, Melodic, Zoroark Hisuian, and Machamp.
And then on Liger's side, we got the Mega Scizor, the Colossal, the Landorus, the Como, the Drapion, and the Primarina.
Probably the most important thing on this match is the Mega Scizor versus Zoroark Hisuian, the two skill leaders for Gary.
When a really hard matchup for Hisui and Zoroark because it can't really click moves super freely because of a Como. I mean, it can do extra sensory. If it can get the extra sensory predict right, it's in business. But it can't click Shadow Ball all that well because Como has the bulletproof, and you got a Drapion you're dealing with as well, and a bulky Colossal. So really hard for Hisui and Zoroark to spam any moves.
Now, in that same vein, between the Melodic and the Volcarona, it's hard for Mega Scizor to spam moves.
Yeah. This definitely has the look of a match that could, in theory, go on for 100+ turns just because nothing dies. The only thing probably stopping that is that Liger doesn't have Wish, so pieces do get whittled down.
Yeah. I no rocks though from Zeke, so like the Cole stays pretty healthy other than what it takes is chip.
Yep.
I mean, there's a certain point where like Landorus can kind of start to break through if things get too low, but also Volcarona can kind of go ham here if the Cole gets too low.
Oh, absolutely.
It's got the, well, let's see, Fire for Scizor, Psychic for Komodo, Grass for Primarina. Yeah, it doesn't need Bug, so it can get away with those three. But, like, yeah, you're doing okay. But Cole still needs to be low because like it's so bulky. Take a hit +1 and then just demolish with Rock Blast.
Yep. Absolutely.
And it's 4 KOs for the Volcarona. So yeah, Volcarona probably just set up as soon as Cole died, and like that was that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need Psychic and you need
Fire,
Flamethrower,
Psychic, and Grass. You need the Energy Ball. Or is
I think
it's
it's Giga Drain.
You need the Giga Drain for Prim.
Yeah, just to get health back so that you can Quiver Dance pretty freely and still get some recovery going.
But look, it was probably some setup Prim too, like 3 KOs. Like, and Scizor and Zoroark both end of his 0 KOs. Very good.
I mean, there was just nothing for either of them to really do in this matchup. Scizor's not really button clicking with Melodic, and then Zoroark literally just has. I mean, Zoroark shouldn't even be in this match. It's just because it's his mon and he wants it to get the KO leader that it showed up, I think. So but there's really not much for it to contribute.
A 3-0. We'll see. We'll see if this is enough. I don't know. All right, let's take a look at our last match. This is our featured match for the week between A12 and DJ. So on A12's side, we have the Slow King, the Pinchurchin, the Snom, no, what am I saying? You have the Slow King, you have the Gary, the Carry, and the Larry, Megazard Y, and the Jirachi.
And then on DJS's side, we've got the Deoxys Defense, the Venomoth, the Donphan, the Alolan Persian, the Blastoise, and the Togekiss.
So in a match that matters,
they're not aware of it.
They're not aware, and so they're having some fun with it. So we'll have some fun.
Which adds a fun element to it. So we're still on equal ground here. It's just they're not realizing the value the match can have for season 2, and the winner gets second seed. The loser is still going to playoffs quite comfortably. It's just they're going to probably need a good showing in order to secure a spot in, Master Div.
So let's take a look what happens here. 3, 2,
Yep.
1, go. Now we lead with the Charizard and Deoxys defense. Belly or bust. There it is.
Oh, straight to business. I respect what's happening right now.
Then we got the power
Up
punch
Deoxys.
Deoxys.
Oh!
It's the extreme speed.
That's too funny actually.
Yeah, Larry's
The
able to
Deoxys
turn
did
it.
that.
Boo, drain punch. This is like trying to be a real set. Boo.
Yeah.
Boo this man.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, he knew he was in Zen Headbutt range from the start. Doom Desire.
Ooh, you don't really see that move all that much, but I love Doom Desire.
Me too. It's gonna be wasted here because he's gonna die to Toxic and then.
No, I don't think it's his turn. I think it's the next turn. Yeah, this is the Togekiss turn. This is where it comes out.
Oh, okay. Memento Larry, there it is.
Okay.
The belly drum again.
If it's belly, oh my god, you love to see it.
Oh, with Citrus Berry, that's smart. Oh no, it's Endeavor.
This is a problem. Oh no. Oh god. Snom!
You can do it. Come on, Carrie. Yeah!
Oh!
With the struggle bug. Curse.
Oh my god.
Curse. That's cheating.
Is
Curse
it though?
agility.
Oh, okay,
Curse
now
agility.
we've cheated.
Lagging tail trick. There we go. Oh, the black sludge. Oh man, yeah.
Maybe we should have watched a real match, but
no, this is too much
fact
fun.
that we got Carrie with a KO for this season, like that was worth watching.
You forgot the terrain. All right.
Oh my god, can you get one more? Oh, you can't get one more KO. Oh,
He had to try. So the Venomoth's name's Harry, Larry the Donphan, Mary the Togekiss, Barry the Blastoise. We didn't see Persian, and Deoxys was still named Deoxys. Boo.
wow, what a screw up.
Mr. Slow-Minded the Slow King. You already know Gary, Carrie, and Larry. Mrs. Slow-Minded, the Charizard Mega, and Wish Upon a Star Jirachi. Okay, that
should have been
was
Wish
a lot of
Upon a
fun.
Larry, because that's what I've been naming mine for a year now.
When you remember.
Anyway, if I remember the name, once every like 3 seasons, I remember nicknames for one match.
Yeah.
But great. Well, yeah, I'll call it a great win. Great win by DJS. He brought some quality plays here with extreme speed, Deoxys defense.
With the power up
and
punch. You needed the power
with the
up
power
punch,
up
I
punch.
think. I don't think that's. I think the Zard probably barely lives otherwise.
Flail Dawn fan that did like giga damage. You love to see what we saw. And then Carrie gets like an Icy Wind KO, and it could have done a lot more if it had been a special attacking Venomoth.
Right. So, okay, we're gonna move over to standings though, and just see what has been brought. The easy ones to check out. Black obviously takes the division. R2 6-3 6-3 are also chilling there. DJ is able to edge out. 12 with the win. Now is when things get fun. We have 3 teams at 5 and 4
with a +5 differential. We're not even done with the 5 and 4s yet. We've got 6 teams or 5 teams. 6 teams at 5 and 4. Is that what you said?
Yeah, 6.
I might be sleepy.
6 teams at 5 and 4, which is a problem because you're only 7 teams go to playoffs. So right off the bat, the bottom 2, Waka and Zeke, just miss out because their differential's not high enough, and so Dashing makes it in at the 7th seed guaranteed. Now for Frandy, Liger, and Orn, because there's a three-way tie on record and in differential, you then look to head-to-head. Because
Yep.
that there is no direct
No
between
one.
them.
Yeah. No one
Yeah.
person won all 3 games or all two
Well,
games.
because two of them didn't even play against each other. Then you look at
Exactly.
strength of schedule, and for the strength of schedule, Liger had the weakest, and Frandy had the strongest, I believe. So Frandy takes the fourth seed, Gladios takes the fifth, and then Liger takes the sixth. Even once you shake it out, and then with the head-to-head stuff too, that's still how it shakes out.
Yeah. Largely only matters for Liger of all the three because Orn and Franny now play each other because they're the 4 and 5 seed. So there wasn't all that much craziness in who was fourth, who was fifth. But
Right,
who was
right.
sixth
So
matters.
just for people who are actually curious about this thing, Frandy had the highest strength of schedule. So then after that, you go down to two. So then you do look at head to head again. Liger
Hmm.
lost to Orn, so Orn takes the fifth seed because of that. Not because of
Yep.
like you then ignore strength of schedule once you've been able to figure out who the fourth seed is. Then you go back to your tiebreakers from the top. Like
Yeah.
it isn't all just because of strength of schedule. Like if Orn had a higher strength of schedule, but Liger won the head to head, then Liger would have been the fifth seed. If anyone gets confused by
We
that, just ping me in the Discord and I'll.
we amazingly had a rule specifically written out for the situation where 3 of coaches were tied. And yeah, we are needing to apply it in season 1, so that's kind of neat.
Yeah, kind of. Um,
Kind of.
I may have spent 15 minutes calculating strength of schedules. Ugh. But yeah, so you should go down. DD, Helix, Fossil are able to avoid relegation, and HJJ knows also able to avoid it by one diff. So Loop and Shark will be relegating down to carry, where I'm sure they will do very well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now let's take a look at the kill leaders. By 2 deaths, it's the Mega Scissor. He takes it.
Wow, I didn't even realize he kind of swooped up in there like that.
He had
I
a
know we
big
were.
4-0 like 2 weeks ago that like catapulted him up there. Like he was just chilling,
Yeah,
chilling.
because like Hisui and Zoroark's been like there for our whole season because Zeke has done everything in his power to
It's
force feed that
like you look
Mon.
at its deaths, 7 deaths. Like yeah, it's been calm. Um,
Yeah.
so the Hydreigon, Dragapult, Hydreigon being up there is really cool. You don't normally see it. But everything
No,
else
no.
makes sense. Even Clefable, Chandeler's up here. You love to see it. Ursaluna is one down. It's 11-8.
It died like
Because
every game. Ursaluna is not too
it,
different from like Melmetal and Mawile. It's
no,
gonna
it's gonna
die,
die,
but
but
your
it's
goal
gonna
is to get
trade.
1 to 2 kills every
It's
match.
gonna trade very effectively. So that's it. We're gonna take a quick peek here at um, playoff brackets. So here we have a matchup between Frandy and Ornadios. This is another. I think all of these are actually um,
Rematches.
rematches. Yeah, the only one I'm not sure of, which I can check on the fly actually, um, between DJS and Dashing Septile. No, it is a rematch. It's a week 1 rematch. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So we have 3 rematches. Whew.
You
So
love
the
to see
first
it.
one, Frandy lost the first time around against Ornladios, so that obviously means they'll win this time. Um,
I mean, in my experience, that does tend to happen quite a bit in playoffs, especially when it's close seeding. Like if one team is just like objectively much better, then sure, they'll win again. But we're talking 4 and 5 seeds here that were tied for differential. So
yeah,
it,
DJS lost against Dashing, so he's obviously gonna win here. And Liger was able to win the first time against a 12, so that means he's obviously gonna lose here. Sorry,
yeah,
it's how playoff rematches work. I don't make these
it's just
rules.
facts, man.
Yep.
No, the rules are pre-written. We're just stating them as they are.
So that's that. All right, let's move on to the bad division.
Yeah, there's not even that much to talk about. There was not a lot of serious matches to be had
No, there
because
were
going into week
two
9,
serious matches, and then one of them had some COVID.
yeah,
So,
um, because 6
um,
of the 7 playoff spots were already determined going into the last week, and
and
then
out
the
of the
last
last
spot,
playoff slot, only 2 people were competing for it.
and it was a head-to-head, so like there was no incentive for bottom anyone below us other than avoiding relegation. There was no incentive to play.
Yeah,
Everyone above us, there was no real incentive. I think beyond Cats and Sammy C had some slight windows to get to top seed. If Huiku beats FAC at a certain differential, then
but
some
like
stuff
it
might
was
open
just
up.
like didn't seem all that possible, so I don't think anyone
No.
really cared. So this is one of the matches that mattered, but this is the COVID match.
Yeah.
So like someone just wasn't feeling too well. So let's see what was brought. We have the Dragapult, or so on the Miami Delphox side, we have the Dragapult, Blastoise, Landorus Therian, Sylveon, Melmetal, and Mesprit.
And then on Huiku's side, we got the Coco, the Rotom Wash, the Galarian Zapdos, the Talonflame, the Mega Audino, and the Nidoking. I don't think there's too much to say, and there's still a very reasonable chance they could meet again in
Yeah.
playoffs. So
Oopsie
we'll maybe,
doopsie, Blastoise shell smashed a couple times and forgot to break its sash, so game over. Next time.
yep,
So,
GG's.
yeah, it really is that simple sometimes. Um, and I think if you ask both of them, they would say, well, yeah, that isn't going to happen twice. So, all right, next is between GDP and Frosty, and I think this mattered for Frosty. Frosty was playing to not get relegated. GDP was already locked in for relegation just due to differential.
Yep.
So even if he won, this differential was too low. So let's see what was brought. Oh, this was a forfeit. They weren't able to get scheduled, so Frosty was able to take the win.
Avoiding relegation by forfeit. That's the best way to do it.
That's the master
We
way
take
to
what comes
play.
our way.
Claimed.
That's
This is
that's
our
fitting.
this is our featured match, so we're gonna skip this.
As it
but
was the only one with
this is
stakes
for the
that
last. This
was
is the
played by
last
2
playoff
healthy
slot.
people.
Yep. Here we have the Thunders from Down Under, coached by Sparky and Charizard, both locked in for playoffs. So they had some fun. We have the Rillaboom, Victini, the Trapinch, Zoroark, Charjabug, Primarina going up against the Megalopunny, Nidoqueen, Zapdos, Heatran, Thelmize, Greninja. I don't remember all of the spice here, but I remember like Hyper Voice, Megalop, obviously Charjabug's here, Trapinch. So
Yeah, Trapinch going for
I'm gonna just
something.
reveal it.
Trapinch got a kill. That's a win.
Got a Charjabug got a kill.
Oh shoot.
So just go check it out. Like there
It's
was
a fun one.
there was enough spice throughout the week that I just don't remember much of it. Next, this was between K-King and Fancify. This was also like a to avoid relegation match. So
This is correct. Loser relegates.
they were playing for something. Here on K-King's side, we have the Puikumuku, Latios, Rotom-Mow, Shifu Rapid Strike, Zeraora, and Incineroar.
And then on Fancify side, we got the Mew, the Omastar, the Thunderous Therian, the Pelipper, the Mega Swampert, and the Amoonguss.
So we'll take this seriously since they took it seriously. This is not the Volt Absorbed Thundurus, right?
This is the Volt Absorb Thunderous.
Okay. Okay, having said that then, Zeraora feels pretty good as long as you can catch the Thundurus on the Switch.
I mean, it knocks off kind of freely. I think
the
Zeraora
Moongus is the biggest issue.
Yeah, I was gonna say the struggle here is Zeraora doesn't really have a way to deal with the Moongus.
Like, you have to keep Latios alive. Latios is your only thing that really deals with the Moongus. Like, Incineroar can, as long as there's no rain. Moongus is, like, totally chill in rain.
So Urshifu Rapid Strike actually becomes quite interesting when rain's set because it has Thunder Punch access, so Pelipper has to be really careful on the switch-ins, and then if it's like a choice banded Urshifu in rain, then like there's not really a switch-in for Fancify, so...
Amoonguss I think still can. Amoonguss has like really high defense. This in rain though, I'm not 100% sure. But if you're Rocky Helmet and against the band, I think you'll win out before, or you'll trade one.
Yeah, that's probably true. But yeah, Latios is your button.
Let's take a seat. Zera or the right, Zera or took 6 KOs here. I think it was just set up Zera and it reached critical mass.
Yeah.
Once
all
you
it
reach
takes.
that point, GG. Well done. K-King's able to avoid relegation.
That's good. I'd be truly saddened if the Pyukumuku team got relegated. So I do want to thank him for keeping Pyukumuku viable enough in this division for the season to not relegate.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
So
this is a quality match.
this is between myself and the Columbus Gallegate up against Wombat and the South Bend Snoms. This was a meaningless match. I mean, Wombat could play for seed. Like Wombat was guaranteed. He was guaranteed playoffs, but I guess he was playing for seed if he really cared, but he didn't. So we did a full meme match. So I brought the Mega Gallade, Shelmet, Rabambi, Alolan Muck, Melodic, and Druddigon.
And then he has the Ursaluna, the Jirachi, the Toxtricity, the Tornadus Therian, and the Grimmsnarl.
So I'm gonna go through just what the sets were for everything.
Mm-hmm.
This was a Blade Master Mega Gallade, so only blade moves allowed. So like Leaf Blade, Psycho Cut. We maybe
X-Scissor.
X-Scissor. We maybe cheated a little bit with Throat Chop because like if you're chopping with Gallade's arms, which are the blades, so that's kind of cheating. But
the best you could do.
The Rabambi was the most fun. It was a Swagger plus Psych Up set. And it actually worked. Melodic was Foil Flame Orb, so it doesn't die, and it has Facade.
So that's actually pretty cool once Jirachi's not being a bulky wall.
Yeah. And Druddigon's cosplaying here as a Nido that's running Sheer Force Light Orb special.
With like its 60 special attack.
Yeah.
Bad.
Alolan Muck is running Rock Polish Memento. That's it.
For logical reasons.
Yeah, I mean you have to die, so like the Shelmet can come in and start setting up because it's running Curse. The full set is Curse, Return, Recover, and Leech Life. So I hope you don't have a Steel type. In a true meme match fashion, I did not look at Wombat's team beforehand. Now, on Wombat's side, the Ursaluna's running a special set, so it has Hyper Beam with Focus Energy to get those crits. Go-Goat's running Terrain Extender with grassy terrain stuff. Jirachi is Iron Defense with Power Up Punch and Charge Beam.
It's a real set, unfortunately.
It's close enough to a real set, and whatever. Like it's just missing it's missing like the last part, which is like a real move to go with it. Toxtricity was like Encore and like some physical stuff. I don't remember what Grimmsnarl was. And Tornadus.
It was Calm Mind, I think.
Oh no, Nasty Plot.
Nasty Plot, that's what I meant. Yeah.
And then the Tornadus was Sub Bulk Up Astonish with Metronome to go for the crit hacks. The flinch hacks. You have a Jirachi, but like Torn's gonna be the one getting flinches here, baby. And in a largely meaningless show, where we switched out a few times so the other person could show off their sets. Shelmet takes the match to win it, but like there was a point where Jirachi was set up enough the game could have been over real fast. So
yeah,
whatever.
It
doesn't. It
didn't matter. It's a 0-0.
I mean, the only important thing that matters here is Shelmet finishes the season with a perfect KDA of 2 kills, 0 deaths.
I mean, clearly the best Pokemon on your team if we're thinking about it like that.
I mean, absolutely. No, I don't think I have a single other Mon with 0 deaths. Alright. Lastly, and this was played as a serious match. Well, serious enough.
Yeah, there was an outside realm where cats can end up in the first seed if week who had beaten Fact. So there was reason for cats to care.
Yeah, so let's take a look at what was brought. Um, Here on Phil's side, living like Larry, we have the Celesteela, Zygarde, Hisuian Decidueye, Hisuian Sneasel, Tapu
Finally making
Lele,
its debut.
I know, and the Seismitoad.
And then on Cat's side, we got the Aegislash, the Hydreigon, the Vaporeon, the Manchow, the Braviary, and the Raikou. So, I mean, Hisuian Sneasel just pops if Aegislash is out of play or too weak to handle it. There's not
It
really
still
any
has
other
it has a
answers.
ghost type move. It gets night.
It has
It's
Shadow Claw, but
Shadow
like,
Claw. I mean,
it's not the
once you're
greatest
set
move.
up, like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
um, Hisuian Decidueye is here.
It's enduring. It has spikes it can lay. It doesn't really do all that much, but it's here.
It can lay those spikes. I mean, Zygarde, Celesteela, obvious threats. The Aegislash is obvious. Hisuian Bravery is pretty scary here.
Yes, I mean that's just a button clicker,
Yeah,
and
those Raikou.
Phil's team is kind of slow.
Let's take a look what happened. And this these 5 KOs. And the Decidueye
Finally.
1 KO.
So he finally gives his Hisuian Mons a chance to make an appearance, and Cats had reason to care. So like they didn't beam match their way to victory. It was just Hisuian Sneasel, I think, Swords Dance on Raikou, who didn't really have a way to deal anything to it. And then there wasn't any scarves, and so after a Swords Dance, it just kind of smacks.
Yeah. So that's that. Congratulations, Phil. Cat's still guaranteed for playoffs anyway. We got one more match, and this is your matchup. So I'm gonna introduce Claude's team. He brought the Crabominable, the Arcanine, Tapu Fini, Rotom Fan, the Alolan Persian, and this is Mega Garchomp, normal Garchomp.
Normal Garchomp. And then on my side, I've got a Landorus, a Mega Mawile, a Slowbro, a Cinderace, an Umbreon, and then a Kommo-o. Pretty standard stuff on my side.
Alright. Yeah, this is just standard for you. The Crabominable keeps coming.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason it's 3 points. It looks like it. I mean, you look at its stats and you're like, if I can set up the right Trick Room circumstances, this could be Mega Mawile 2.0. But then the circumstances are they're impossible to set up.
So all right, 3, 2, 1, go. So the lead Persian.
So I don't actually speed creep the Alolan Persian. I didn't think it was gonna come.
So you're slower.
I'm slower with everything that could be faster, so this is actually somewhat of a concern.
A nice calm mind knowing you're gonna live. Or did you think
Yeah,
he's gonna switch out?
I thought he'd switch out to Fini or something like that, so it seemed like a worthy calm mind. I flee on Persian expecting it has like something, anything. The Icy Wind I forgot it got.
Icy Wind, because I think even a Dark Pulse there you die, or
Oh, probably, but maybe just because I had the calm mind in, I was a little concerned.
Right.
Play Rough does enough. Yeah, Play Rough does enough here where I can 2-hit KO and he's forced to sack something.
Sacking the Fini is really hard, especially with the Kommo-o still chilling.
Crabominable is forced to run on my Slowbro. I get an Ice Beam on a good predict on my end. But this Rotom Fan seems like it wouldn't be a concern. And then it's actually doing mega damage. And I misclicked counter. I was trying to click teleport. Huge misclick.
Yeah.
Actually quite meaningful here because these air slashes. This is specs. I mean, this is just smacking me for damage. Yeah. He finally retreats. I think I have to fleet a Slowbro here because it's my only play on a Crabominable. And he just calls that.
Alright, so that's really nice. I don't have it back in, but
yeah, I don't really have an air slash switch in.
He needs a flinch here.
Yeah.
No, that's a really good protect for some lefties recovery.
And I need it because
it'll put you out of the 2-hit KO.
Exactly. And I think I go for a wish here because it's a safe click. I might even go to Mega Mawile here.
No, you didn't. No,
I was too scared. I was too scared of Earthquake, it seems. And then this is where I'm really concerned, and I'm just bluffing with Cinderace here that I'm faster.
Yeah, you're so lucky.
I know I'm not.
But I don't know if he has enough to Oko there.
I don't know either. This Garchomp's just fat and eating my health. And I don't think I have. No, I don't have boots on the Cinderace, and I don't have Court Change. So this
We're here to
Garchomp is
stay.
actually causing a tremendous amount of problem.
All right, so we're gonna
I think
sack
I'm
the
forced to sack
Landorus.
here. Yeah. And then Mega Mawile gonna come in and Sucker Punch, I think, or
Nope.
try
Yeah,
to. Cause
good player off
oh,
protection.
I like that. And then Persian comes in, who I think I have a chance with, and then apparently it has this move called Burning Jealousy, which may be the first time
I
I've ever seen it used in draft.
yeah, first time for me as well.
I go for a Drain Punch here, expecting that I was
Now,
going to
now
Icy
there's
Wind, so
just
I was
not
going to not
enough.
predict.
As long as you don't miss with the Cinderace. Oh wait, no, he can't kill you with the Air Slash.
No, not on Slowbro. I just have to avoid. I just have to avoid the
Lynch.
flinch. Yeah,
But even
and then
then,
Ice Beam does what it needs to.
so you're able to take it just barely. The Rotom
Yeah.
fan almost took it.
No,
That's insane.
it was going crazy, and I didn't have a lot of answers. I mean, my Umbreon gets into a not getting flinched position, which is not the ideal spot to be.
Did you have foul
Yeah,
play on it?
I did. So it would have been taking an eternity to kill it, and I may have actually been close to PP stalling on that to try to win if it came down to that. So glad for everyone's sake we avoided that.
Because there's a world where you get flinched there and then the Pyro Ball misses.
I mean, I just die with Pyro. Oh wait, no, I'm faster. Yeah, that's why I was scared to go with Cinderace. I was really afraid of the Pyro Ball missing.
Yeah.
Thankfully, got to avoid that RNG, and Slowbro did its work. So I am officially the most undeserving playoff participant in all of CLDL.
That's right. Let's take a look though, just for some fun's sake here. Fax able to take it 8-1, 26. So he actually promotes right out of the league.
Yeah, he's gone. Too good for us.
Just kidding, buddy. Please stick around. Sammy C takes a nice, comfortable second seed, and then we have 3 6-3 coaches, and 1 5-4, and some dirty 4-5. Like I don't, what is even happening here?
This
Diff and
4 and 5 team
diff.
I'd watch out for.
No.
Oh wow, that diff is funny. Oh,
Oh man, and
he's
then rounding it out, me and Phil's technically the ninth because he has the head-to-head over me. So he's
yeah. It
technically ninth
doesn't
seed.
matter because
Uh,
neither relegate, thankfully.
yeah, so that doesn't matter. Boom, 3 and 6 teams, and then our 2 relegation. Let's take a look at the MVPs, and Mega Lopunny takes it for Master with a 17-3 split, which is really good.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I feel like it just kind of flew up there. Like it's been hovering in the top 10 all
It's been
season,
in
but I didn't
top 10
remember it
since
being.
like week 1 or 2. Like it just gets, obviously it's getting 2.5 KOs a week.
I think Fat got screwed by his Blastoise going from that 6-0 spree
Yeah,
because that meant neither of his other Mons that were
he's got
in
them.
position to
Yeah,
win it.
he's got his other 2 just chilling at 15. We got a lot of
But
KO leaders up here, man. Like, look at this. Look at all these 14 KO mons. Like everything up here makes sense.
jeez, I
Agislash it doesn't make sense for this many KOs, so that's like really cats.
yeah, IG Slash is not. IG Slash is a Mon I think you can expect 10 KOs out of in a season just because it can get like one a week fairly reliably. But to
It's
get
the
like
14-4. It's the 4 deaths part. Like it normally dies.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's about dying after doing enough, like, shadow balls after coming out of shield mode or toxic stalling to break open a team. So it's not really a sweeper or something that gets a ton of KOs
I think the
normally, but
most astounding thing to me about this kill leader list though is Claude's 2 mons despite the 3-4 record, and the Zera Aura despite the 3-4 record. Like this is those 2 teams' offense. These 3 months.
yes, yes. So or 3-6 record, we should say, not 3-4, but 3-6.
3-6. Yeah.
Yeah, these were not teams that were winning most weeks, but they had 1 or 2 mons that were picking up KOs.
Yeah, and that's it. No one else on the team was picking up KOs. All right, so to close it out, we're gonna take a look at a little playoff or like little playoff
Yep.
action here. So Fac takes the bye and he seeds straight into semifinals. The first up is between Sparky and Hoiku, and this is a rematch from earlier in the season.
This is.
No, it is not.
I'm pretty
That's a
positive they
different league.
played.
No, I'm looking at Sparky's team page.
Oh
Fancify
wow.
Geo Cloud. So this is a brand new matchup, and the winner then goes on to play Fac, who that would then be a rematch. They both have.
Yeah,
So we'll see how things go here.
it will be interesting to see.
I need to see
We
if Huiku's able to play the style that's needed to beat Sparky, or if Sparky just misses a few predicts and loses. But
I mean,
don't expect this match to take all that long in turn of turn count.
no. I'm just mostly fat because I mean, Piku and Sparky have been hovering in the same leagues for a while now, so this isn't their first rodeo against each other. They run into each other quite frequently, so I'm not interested in that context. But I'm really interested to see if the team Sparky is built is good in playoffs, or if it's just a good regular season team.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because
This
this is
is the first. This is the first Zero Ura team he's brought into playoffs. So we'll see what happens.
Zorark,
Zoroark, my bad.
yeah, but yeah,
ZZZ.
he's got this style running in a couple leagues right now, but this is the first playoff match with it, so I'm really curious to see how it performs.
All right. Next up is the Canberra Charizards against you. This is a rematch from Week 8. So I think even though you lost that matchup, you lost it off hacks and were in a winning position.
I was, but I also got into the winning position by some hacks, so like it goes both ways.
Oh, Sammy's
So
gonna take this
I,
easily.
oh
Get
yeah, I'm trash. I
cry
don't deserve
about
to be
it.
here.
Cry about it.
I mean, I say all this and I'll probably end up winning the league, and I'll laugh at my
Um,
4-5 record. I gotta hype myself up a little bit. There's no one else to hype me
uh,
up.
Good, because I'm not hyping you up. Last and certainly not least, we have the matchup between Cats and Wombat, and this is a rematch. Cats took it 6-0 last time. I don't actually remember that match.
Interesting. I don't remember it either, but that definitely explains Wombat's differential a little better on why he's -8 at a positive record.
Yeah.
Is because he has a 6-0 in his past. So
I think he's got multiple 6-0s in the past. Oh no, it's a 6-0 and two fives, with the largest win
so
being a
this is
4.
yeah, so this is a really interesting matchup because it's essentially a reset because when you get I don't remember the context, but generally when someone gets a 6-0, it's usually off of something sweeping or just a portion of the prep not being accounted for at all. And so now Wombat has the chance to really correct that, and Cats doesn't have the same trick to play twice,
Yeah, I
in
think it was
theory.
set up Raikou and it just missed move.
Yeah.
Or maybe that was the Chomp week. I don't know.
But yeah, Gio and I were talking offline about Cats, and Cats is a very scary coach in playoffs. Not someone you want to run into, as Gio learned just last week somewhere else. Cats can really have some things saved for a playoff match, and so I'll be very curious to see what they bring in the quarterfinals.
Yeah. Um, well, okay, that's it. That's our playoff preview. Everything leading up to it. We're gonna keep covering things through the playoffs, but we've been going on for about 90 minutes now, 93. So we
Ooh,
gotta we gotta make the cut somewhere. So if you've stuck with us this entire time, once again from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please stick around further weeks as we go through playoffs and we eventually crown a winner for our inaugural season.
yeah.
You got any closing remarks? This is closing out the regular
No,
season, brother.
this is closing out the regular season. Thank you all for hanging out with us this whole season. Thank you for sticking through those first early weeks when we had a few surprising drops, but we got through it all. We are in playoff mode now. A ton. We have 17 fantastic coaches in playoffs, and or no, 20 fantastic coaches in playoffs and one trash bag. So really happy with everyone that stuck around, and I'm really excited to see how these playoffs turn out.
Yeah. Um, so I echo all that same sentiment. So we're just gonna sign out. I've been Dr. Geo. With me is.
P McGee.
Thanks everybody. Peace.